Cold winter morning. Sunday morning, last day of the year. 2023 is closing out. Let's go out with a banger. We got bicep and back today. Let's get it. Go ahead and get all of our stuff taken off. It's pretty chilly outside, so we're layered up for sure. Starting off with some dumbbell rows. Cable rows, we're destroying the back this morning. Pull-up time, baby. Every day. Last workout of the year complete. We still gotta run our sprints later, but let's get packed up, head out of here. I gotta get to work. It's gonna be the last day of the market this year too. Let's get to it. Okay. Grab my stuff, got my go-to bag, my water, and my coffee. Urban's gonna hold down the fort for us. Let's get the van cranked on. With the weather going from super cold last night to the sun peeking out, you can see moisture is dripping off the sheet metal roof. It's not very well insulated. So what I'm gonna do is pull the truck out. That way we don't get all the bags wet. I think we caught it just in time. You can see there's a little bit of moisture on the bags, but with the sun beating down now, should dry them up. Now that the van's warmed up, let's hit the road. Let's get the last day of this year complete. We'll see what happens. Everybody's starting to open up. Pretty lively in here. I didn't really bring anything today. Yesterday, I got rid of one of these record players that the vendor had me set up. He has another one brand new in the box. So what I will do is open up the box and set it up and start playing the Mac Davis record again. Now that we got the boots set up, I'm gonna pull out my coffee, water, and my go-to bag. Nice little find this morning, Carhartt toboggan, 10 bucks, you can't beat it. I'm gonna get it put in the van, get the day going. This thing's brand new. We're gonna hook it up and see if it works. Should work.
Did you sell that one yesterday?
Yeah, the one from yesterday is gone.
Yeah, the kid came.
This one's a little bit different than yesterday. I mean, it's the same model, but it's a little bit different color. I tried to sell him the record. He didn't want the record. But that means we got Mac Davis to play today. He doesn't have the power cord. Don't worry about it, guys. We'll get it figured out. We're gonna set this up right here. Seems to be 5 volts. It's got to be the right size. I keep a box of these different cords here just in case they stay in the booth. Hopefully we'll get lucky and find one. Found some that are the right size, but they're running 12 volts or 10 volts, and this thing takes 5 volts. We don't want to damage anything, so let's go take a look around the flea market and see what we can find. Just loaded up this Samsung washer. They said they're not really sure what's going on with it. They've had it sitting for a while. Take it to the shop and get it checked out. Not too bad of a start today. This dryer is gone. They're gonna get their car pulled around. We'll get it loaded up. I was able to find a power cord for this record player. This one runs 6 volts, but it's not that big of a deal. It does turn on. It does spin the turntable, so that's a good sign. Unfortunately, it was too good to be true. The internal speaker does not work properly. It does spin the record, the needle drops. With it being such a cheap little record player, the vendor doesn't even want to try to repair it or anything. So what we'll do is just take the old Mac Davis record out and we're gonna trash this thing. He did bring me a buffer that doesn't want to turn on, and I got some free time, so we'll see if we can get it to work. He brought a cordless vacuum cleaner here he wants me to unbox. In the meantime, I pulled the toolbox out of the van. Let's get it opened up, unbox this buffer, see if we can get it repaired. I got that plastic piece taken off the front. Not much to access here unless you take these screws off. This cap here goes in a hole. I think that's just for greasing up the spindles in there. We're gonna move on. We're gonna take off this piece of plastic. There's 3 star bits in there. The switch to turn it on and off is back here. So we're gonna make sure everything's hooked up correctly. Maybe something's broke. Plastic comes out pretty easy. Here goes all the wires and internal pieces back here. We got the switch, speed adjuster, cable. Let's take a little deeper look. Pulled a couple other tools out. Process of elimination. Let's start with the easy stuff first. I checked the continuity on the switch. It does work. So when you turn it on and off, Continuity is there, so we know that's not causing the problem. Then I went into checking the power, so I took this shrink wrap off where the power cable comes in, and I checked the voltage. We got good voltage. Obviously my power source is working. Next up, I'm really not sure if this speed variation switch has anything to do with if it would turn on or off. I don't have any kind of manual, but I'm really not going to go into tearing it apart. Maybe the electric motor itself is no good. I do see one in there. I did take the side screws off here. I put one of them back. This is what's in there. It's these little magnet blocks. I guess that's what helps generate the power. Similar to a front load washer, just on a smaller scale. So we'll get this put back in there. See if we can access this motor from the front, because it doesn't look like I can access it from here. Went ahead and took the 4 screws that hold this front end on. You can see all the grease in there. That's where that grease cap comes into play. The motor just slides on out of here. Not much to it. What's throwing me off is I used the voltmeter, plugged it in, made sure the switch was on. I even go from different variation speeds. I can't get any kind of reading in here where these cables go, and I'm pretty sure we should be getting some kind of reading. So that tells me maybe it's a possibility this thing can be causing all the issues. You can't really open it, it's pinned shut. So the vendor told me if I can't get it fixed, it'll get trashed. I don't want to see that happen. So what I'm going to do is try to splice some of these wires and bypass this thing, and if we can, keep it at 1 speed and see if that works, because the motor doesn't seem to be locked up at all. It's our last hope. Let's get it done. Speed variation switch cut off. Pretty simple. Blue one goes to nothing. One of them was the neutral. I think I got it set up correctly, because obviously the positives are going to be on the switch. I reinstalled the motor and the magnets. We're going to leave this top end off. We're going to see if this thing works. Flick this switch if I can without getting zapped. Oh shit. Yeah, it works. Thank God the neutrals fell apart. Let's get this thing unplugged. We now know that this speed switch was causing all the issues. I bent it open just to take a look in there. I didn't think that this could have been causing the problem, but it was, obviously. I was not expecting it to go that fast. Let's get this top end reinstalled. I'll put a twist tie here, and I'm gonna definitely hold on to it before I turn it on. I'm not gonna do what we did last time and turn it on without holding it. We know it's got some power, and it's literally called torque. It's definitely got some torque. I got it plugged in. I put the top end on. Let's see. It works, but it only works at 1 speed. Oh yeah, it works, but it works way too fucking fast. The vendor walked up, he saw it working. He's gonna try to sell it as is. We'll definitely let the customer know it only works at 1 speed and 1 speed only, and that's max speed. It's better than throwing it away. So what I'm gonna do is put a twist tie on here, make sure everything's nice and tight, and we're gonna start putting it back together, test it one more time, and clean up the tools. Last thing to do is reinstall this plastic. I'm gonna show y'all what I got going on here. Obviously this switch goes back where it needs to. We got plenty of space for the twist tie now that that speed switch is gone. I got the cable tied back down, that way it doesn't get yanked out. This should just slide on here nice and easy. Yep, let's put these 3 screws back. It also comes with some extra blade, 2 extra magnets for the motor, which you'll probably need. She looks good as new, somewhat, I guess. Got all the tools put away, threw away all the garbage. Let's get the toolbox shut. And we're gonna do one more quick quality check on it before we box it up and give it back to its rightful owner. I officially got it complete. I had to take a quick second and take the plastic back off because I forgot to put this seal on for the power cord. Now we got that complete, everything's put back together. I got it plugged in. When I start this, last thing to do is give one more quality check and we should be good to go. A bummer that we didn't have a variation speed switch, but it's better than throwing it away and not having anything at all. Box it back up, move on to something else. Everybody is starting to close up. It's about 2:30 out here. Last day of the year. I got everything turned off, pushed back in here. Last thing to do, close the cage, slap the locks on it, and that'll be another full year complete. Let's make it official this year. Sign is off. Get out here, let's get the van unloaded. Let's run our sprints. We gotta back this truck back in the building. Make sure everything's dried out. Truck back there.
Keep it going. Let's go.
get this washer we got unloaded and we're gonna check it. I guess he was really scared of it getting scratched. Oh, I mean, no.
Giusto per essere.
Now, let's set it right here. Put my tools back where they need to go. I got extra screwdrivers, overflow here. Looks like my dad and Irvin were in here yesterday. They moved all my stuff. I keep a real stringent tally on all my stuff in here. I don't mind people using them, but I always like to put it back where it needs to go, so next time when I need it, I know exactly where it's at. Get the toolbox out. That way we got an empty van for the upcoming week. Also brought my other RC car home. I've been telling my nephew I'm gonna bring it home for him to play with. I'm gonna keep my word. I know. We'll put this thing here. Next time my nephew comes over, it'll be ready. Let's get our sprints ran. First lap is a jog, get the blood flowing. Now we take off the choke and crank up the heat.
Are you done playing around? Looks like your second warm-up lap.
Huh?
Looked like you just ran your second warm-up lap.
Woo-wee.
What is it, buddy? Say. I think